and welcome to my channel. Today we have Gillian Ardaza. I'm so excited for you to join us. Thank you for coming on today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And so you're with Kinetic Real Estate. So tell me, what is your favorite part about being a real estate agent?
I get this question all the time, but it truly is like when you deliver keys. I mean, for me, I love working with buyers. Sellers are great too, but there's a lot of it's a roller coaster for a lot of buyers throughout the entire process. So when we get to the finish line, it's really rewarding to see their faces, how they're so happy. They're excited to share with their families. And I do closing videos. So those are like my favorite part of at least the transaction.
Oh, that's awesome. Do they get to keep those so they can like watch it again? And
yeah, and it's a part of marketing too. I mean, it's a great way to share their experiences throughout social media. I always talk about experience. So if they have a good experience and they want to do it, some buyers are private and they opt out for it, but by allowing us to share their stories, sometimes they can inspire other people too that are watching them. And especially in the Bay Area, a lot of the times people think that it's not doable to purchase a home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. Yes, if they can inspire someone else who's kind of like, I'll never be able to buy a home, but like it is possible. Just see what can be done. So that's awesome. I love that. What have you learned over the years that makes you an exceptional agent?
I think for sure just the willingness to learn and stay a student, because the market changes, you're growing as an agent, your experience, your skills and tools are sharpening, but just always allowing yourself to just be open to learning other perspectives and just staying in the grind, being consistent. And this isn't for people who kind of just want to do real estate. I mean, in order to service your clients to the fullest, I think that by developing skills, tools, and experience, you have to be in it day in, day out. So there's really no like backup plan for me. So I just try to stay consistent. And I think just surround yourself with a supportive team and that who too are also trying to grow and always sharpening their skills. So iron sharpens iron. That like support and also environment is always like key.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, if you're willing to be a student, that's even better, because I feel like the buyers that are helping throughout this process, like it's really about education. You don't know, and there's a lot of things that go into buying a house that a lot of buyers don't know. So it's like, I feel like when you have an agent that is also wanting to learn, like they're willing to teach as well, help you through the process, which makes things so much better for the buyers. That's awesome. And you mentioned you're in the Bay Area. So what areas do you specialize in?
We're San Mateo County, but a lot of like my business in the beginning, it was Contra Costa, East Bay, Sacramento, a few here and there when we're trying to kind of put our stamp in like more of the San Mateo County, San Francisco County, but now we're all over. So wherever our clients go and we can help and we can drive and we have market-based knowledge at the very least, because it's data and it's really easy to navigate through any neighborhood now because everything's online. I know there are certain areas that, there's ins and outs that you need to know, but majority of the time you can service your clients anywhere. Again, it's like the experience. It's not necessarily the same. Every transaction is the same. You have to really listen to the buyer's needs and wants. And then that way you can filter, okay, how do we help this particular client? Like in East Bay or San Mateo, there's different objections in different areas as well.
Yeah. So you guys will go all the way to Sacramento as well?
So now we have partners out in Sacramento. If it's a family friend, I would drive. And again, I would drive out there and just make it a trip and see like old friends, old family if I need to. But that's the beauty of our like industry. We can do that. But it's like sometimes if it's like an online lead and they're a better fit for maybe my business partners out there, I will do that too. It really depends the capacity that I have. And also just knowing and being in a business for a little bit now, I know the capacity that I have in order to really just service the clients. So clients are always like the main focus.
Yeah. I was selfishly asking about Sacramento because that's an area that my husband and I are investing in right now for our fix and flips. So. Yeah. But yeah, what kind of Yeah, I mean, it's a good area. It's nice for like families and first time home buyers and stuff. And so
Mhm.
that's kind of like our passion project is really getting people into a home, like you said, that don't think that they can afford it. But what could a potential buyer or seller expect from you?
I think for me to always be responsive, show up, and if it's not knowing an answer to something, being resourceful. We have a good network of like vendors, whether it's for painting, plumbing, just getting the property prep, or even
Yeah.
after, and just having those hard conversations. I'm okay to have, and just figuring out solutions. So I think as an agent, if you come into it as like a solution finder, problem solver, then most people just want to know that they're being heard and their concerns are being addressed.
That makes total sense.
In addition to that, just knowing how to negotiate, knowing to navigate. But that's really, I think, important too.
Yeah, I agree. And I know things have gotten a little crazy and we do not have a crystal ball, but since the rates have slowly started to drop, we're hearing all of the buzz about, next month's Fed meeting. Like you have boots on the ground. What are
Yeah.
you seeing? Like, are you starting to see the competition pick back up? Like, are you starting to see more houses go in the market? Like, what do you believe the market to be right now?
I believe that, I've always been a big believer in staying in my own lane. So when I focus on my business, I just focus on my clients and their wants and needs. Sometimes when I have too much information on what's going out in the market, because a lot of the data too doesn't also reflect on like these areas that I'm working in. It's more nationwide. So
Yeah.
just having control in like the information that you're feeding yourself, because I always just go into it as like, okay, what does my client want? What are their wants and needs? You always assess like how many offers are being put in the area. If we're putting in offers, how many offers are being presented? What are they going over? What's the interest rate currently? And what were the sales comps from last like quarter? What was the rate then? Because it affects all of that. So every factor does play a part, but to answer your question, there is a lot more interest when on my online lead gens, they're picking back up with inquiries and etc. But we always go into it as like, what do you want? What do you want as a client? What's your goal? Is your goal to buy? Can you afford at this price point? What are the comps? Of course, we always look at the comps, but sometimes you're looking at it as if it's a good deal, and other times you're looking at it as like, hey, this is the moment to strike, because we don't want to wait for another client to come in and use that opportunity for, I guess, like not to be in a bidding war.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Are you
so
seeing that there's for your buyers? I was gonna say, are you seeing that there's a little? I know we've been in like an inventory shortage in our areas over here, like in the Bay Area, which a lot of other parts of the country weren't seeing as bad as we were. Are you seeing for your buyers there's like more houses for them to actually look at, or does it still seem kind of there's a ton on the market?
I think there's definitely more, but not necessarily, just not, I feel, going to be enough supply for the demand of buyers in our market. So it doesn't, I don't know, I can be wrong, but it doesn't really change for us.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
one or two properties will come up more. Of course, there are more properties that are coming up like through like NAR or MLS. They feed us more information and you can simply look at the numbers, but the supply and demand doesn't change. There's just not enough homes for buyers that want.
So it's going to get crazy out there. If you are in the market to buy now, I think now is the time. Connect with an agent, connect with the loan officer now, get pre-qualified. Like Gillian said, you don't want to be in a huge bidding war. So the time is now. And yeah, I guess, is there anything else that you would like your clients to know? And we have to make sure that we address how to get in contact with you.
Yeah, so my name is Gillian Ardaza. My contact info is 415-480-7738. That goes directly to like our website and my phone here. And once you send an inquiry, we're pretty much 30 minutes or less where we're going to call you back, or I will call you back for sure. But I'm all over social media, LinkedIn, Instagram. I'm really active on TikTok. Facebook is a great way to connect to, because pretty much all of my social medias are filtered to my CRM. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being on my podcast today. We've learned a ton. Anyone who is looking in the Bay Area, especially in South Bay, hit Gillian. She's got it on lock with the Kinetic Real Estate Group. And you see the phone number down below. So give her a call. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thanks.
Bye.